Good afternoon, folks. And now, live from Hoppage, home of the Hoppage Atheist Collective of Hoppage.
I don't need an introduction. An introduction and some applause. What's applause anyway? It's just the sound of two hands clapping. I don't need that, and I don't want that. You know, I don't need to be a talk show host. I'd like to be a talk show host. It's all for you. It's all for you, Hoppage. You know, I feel like there are times when we have to applaud. There's something that merits applause and everyone else is applauding. To not applaud? To not applaud. Why were you not applauding when so many others were standing, applauding, and in unison they'll ask you gently, maliciously, cautiously. There are so many things that merit consideration, thoughtful consideration, but not applause. No, no, no. And here's this for the postulation, that when we're applauding, it's applause that we're applauding. Applause surely deserves our respectful applause. Get out here, Earl. You're about to be interviewed in a casual manner. It's Earl. Earl, the butcher man who has a butcher store and is therefore a butcher man.
Was that my introduction?
That was me introducing you. I don't know if it was a proper introduction, and I don't care.
I thought you were going to give a monologue. I heard you saying things, but I thought they were going to be jokes.
It's something talk show hosts do.
I thought you were a talk show host.
I'm a human being, for the man Suasion who hosts a talk show.
Is this the early afternoon show?
It's the early afternoon show with your host, Jimmy Davies.
Oh, it is. It is the early afternoon show, and you're on. Or is it a room where a talk show happens? We are who we are, or are we who we are because of the rooms that we're in? How are you, Earl?
I have a new line of sausage products. I brought some samples. I also brought this little baby here. She's a sausage stuffer dating back from the early 30s when sausage were all some of them had. A little rusty on the edges, but you know, there's nothing a little olive oil can do. It's a true baby. Love the shape. Can't beat it.
That's great. But I didn't ask how's Earl's thick cuts and lean shanks. I asked how you, Earl, were a man. A man, Earl. A man.
I guess good. I brought these sausage products as a man. I can't really separate the two.
A man here in the early afternoon show. Wow. That is something. I think that merits applause. To not applaud?
What?
Oh, that was just me continuing my monologue outside the parameters of the talk show format.
I brought sausage. They're from Nova Scotia. I brought them for you to try them.
Oh, thank you. But I'm not hungry. I have to resist the insatiable stomach of the talk show host.
I came on the show to present my sausage.
I just came to the show. The show is here in my living room. The show is living here. This is where the show is living, and I am here living with the show.
This is the set of the early afternoon show.
This is my living room.
They're from Nova Scotia, where the air is rare and the sausage even rarer.
What is this? What is this now? Another thing to correct? The right and actual posture of the man itself.
They cure the sausage with a dashing of cumin. It makes the total difference.
The three natural mammalian curves, nay, are aligned for the man-beast.
It's commonly a spice used in curries or to give things an extra spice.
He can stand again. He's a perpetual monument to his own crippling imperfection. Oh, I do like the suit, though. The lights, they do shine down upon it.
Jimmy, this sausage is then dried and cured for 3 weeks before it ever leaves the place.
And it's from Nova Scotia, right? And there we are, returning to the old familiar. It's from Nova Scotia, isn't it?
It is. That's where it's from originally. Then it's imported.
And what does drying do to these sausages here in the early afternoon show with your humble host, Jimmy the Handsome Davies?
It allows for the sausages to be seasoned exactly how they over there at Yarmouth Importing determined they want them. They do a lot of avant-garde experiments with their charcuterie.
Charcuterie avant-garde brought to you today by Earl's Thick Cuts and Lean Shanks.
Oh, come now, Jimmy, you're too much. I'm not the only one that's sweet. There are other butchers slicing at the cutting edge of the charcuterie world. I try, though, to provide the great town of Hoppage with the greatest in state-of-the-art and quality meats and meat accessories.
And then there's his voice, the angel's gift. In sheer vanity, he tries to make something of value out of the angel's gift.
I take inspiration from the long lineage of the venerable German Fleischer.
He talks, and then he pauses. And you have time to say things. You can speak.
What are you talking about, Jimmy?
Just saying words. The tone is your voice, and these are the words that I'm speaking. This I hold to be self-evident. These are the words that I'm speaking.
The Constitution! Isn't that what you just quoted?
Is it? I don't know. I quoted words, and nothing can contain those words.
I think you just did. Were you going to ask me soon what our hours are?
A collection set of gestures, postures, actualized, in resistance to what was previously the realized manifest, only to itself become the realized manifest to be resisted.
I carry the tray of sausages, Jimmy. The offering from the guest to the host that surely can't be denied.
This is not the early afternoon show with Jimmy Davies you were looking for.
Jimmy, go back to being a talk show host. Go back. I want you back. Have a bite of sausage. Please, have a bite of Earl's sausage.
No. No.
I brought these sausages for you to try. I didn't come here to deal with you. That's Earl's Thick Cuts and Lean Shanks.
That's Earl's Thick Cuts and Lean Shanks. And this is the early afternoon show with your host, Jimmy Davies.
What, now I have to condescend to being a talk show host?
Jimmy, when you're hosting a talk show, you're supposed to be a talk show host. That's what they want you to do. They don't want you to be Jimmy Davies. Have a bite of sausage.
They want Jimmy. Who else could they want but Jimmy?
They want a cleaned and improved Jimmy. But when you're off camera, I want you to be the real Jimmy. I want to know when you're pretending.
Well, they're good. These are good.
They are good. They're good.
Well, I'm not acting surprised either, Henry. This is good sausage. Wow, you can color me surprised.
And they're from Nova Scotia. Isn't that right, Earl?
They're from Nova Scotia.
Wow. Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia, Nova Scotia. That's in Canada, right?
Newfoundland.
I always thought there was a funny name for a land. Newfoundland.
It is. These are some savory sausages.
They are. So what are the hours that the viewing public can buy these sausages in your store?
We open our hearts and windows to Hoppage at 10 o'clock every morning. That's Earl's Thick Cuts and Lean Shanks.
These are some savory sausages. Henry, they're from Nova Scotia.
I know.
When I take a shower at night, I wash the butcher off me.
Oh. What are these, little tiny peppercorns?
These are little tiny specks of cumin there.
Cumin. It sounds like a dirty word, cumin.
Hey, Earl, watch out, Earl. I'm a cumin.
So customers can buy sausages with cumin in them already? Thank you. I'll be here all week.
They can buy these and many other types of sausages and charcuterie products and accessories at Earl's Thick Cuts and Lean Shanks, located at the corner of Havemeyer and St. Nicholas.
No, I don't know why you need to advertise. You're the only butcher in town.
I wanted to have an interview and have you try my sausages.
They are savory.
I've never had an interview on a talk show.
These are some savory sausages. Thank you for tuning in. This has been the Early Afternoon Show with Jimmy Davies. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Hoppage, and thank you, Earl, for showing us these little lovely, delicious sausages.
Thank you for having me here on the Early Afternoon Show with your host, Jimmy the Handsome Davies.
Now, I think I'm going to go wash the talk show host off me.
I think we all have to wash ourselves off ourselves.
Now, were we arguing about something earlier arguments?
Who? You and me? Or someone else and me? Or not me altogether?
Well, I don't know, but these sure are some savory sausages.
They are. And we're out.
Like a light? Got
Savory.
a little busy with some business and lost my
Savory.
savory.